You're such an asshole.
Man, coming out of the gate, Cappy, Monday morning. Pow, pow, pow. Monday morning, here we go. Slept till 9 o'clock. I am so on top of my shit, I'm getting a shingle shot today. That's how someday you, my fine young men and women smart enough to pay attention to old man Cappy, you too will be on top of your game so much that you'll be like, wow, the best thing for me to do is get a shingle shot. That's how on top. There's the ball. I used to be behind the ball. Now I am 16 miles ahead of the ball. Never behind the ball again. The ball is so far behind me, I don't see it no more. Now watch. This is the point in time that some fucking thing fucks up and the internet poops out or whatever. So for this brief half a day before the world decides to strap on its dildo and fuck me in my ass, but have this little victory. And we have a request. And if you have a request and money, not or, and money, that's for you millennials out there, and money, and you have a question, you can go to assholeconsulting.com, where I, the world's only professional asshole and America's older brother, will give you the swift kick in the ass you need. Hi, Aaron. I love your work and would love to consult with you. I'm a 34-year-old man struggling with women right now, finding a spouse, understanding how to value myself in today's world, etc. I live in a leftist shithole, probably one of the biggest leftist shitholes out there, the epicenter of hatred towards men and delusionally high standard women. Most women I meet in my age bracket, 25 plus, are all in relationships. Those who are not are fairly unattractive, overweight. The rest are extremely unapproachable. Okay, I'm going to tell you right now, every hot girl is always in a relationship. We'll troubleshoot these minor things along the way. We'll guide your thinking. We'll correct your thoughts. But yeah, one right off the bat, you are in probably the worst environment to be in the world. So I would not take it too personally. Secondly, every beautiful girl always has a boyfriend. Always. And that's why you steal them. To be perfectly honest. You to the point, like, okay, that's nice. And the polite way is to wait for her to go be single. The impolite way is just to know it's your turn inevitably and just, kind of get in there and say, oh, I'm slightly better than the other guy. And I don't know. I know that may be dark or dour, but that's how it is. Every hot girl that, oh yeah, I got a husband, I got a boyfriend. That was 20 years ago. Now, with marriage being what it is, no. They all have boyfriends. They all have it. They always do. So I put a little more weight till I got a husband. I'm like, well, that's a challenge then, I guess. I know it sounds like a douchebag, but I'm not the one that presented these terms. The number of times in my dancing career, of course, oh, I got a husband. Oh, like we've been dating a while. All of a sudden, hey, my husband. Wait, husband? What? Tee. And I know this is maybe a little bit more of a tangent. Given that the boomers dropped trout and just shat over marriage, I said this long ago. I said this like in high school. I'm like, marriage is just like going steady. You're just dating as far as I could tell because it ends. There's no permanent, like everything just set back a grade. Going steady is the new marriage. Dating is the new just getting meeting or good. I don't know. So I really don't respect me. I don't. You all don't respect it yourselves, so fuck off. So anyway, when they say that, they don't want to go out with you. But I wouldn't, at the same time, I wouldn't let it deter you if it makes any sense, because every hot girl has a boyfriend. They all do, all the time. It's just, are you going to give a better, view it like they view cars, all right? I got a model now, but inevitably I'm going to trade it up for something nicer. I'm struggling with my self-esteem, self-worth, and esteem issues because it seems like I'm invisible 99% of women. All right, let's stop you here. Why do you derive your value from women? I'm not questioning that you do. I'm not even questioning whether it's authentic, right? But dude, quit being a fucking pussy. Oh my God, the Womans don't like me. Is this middle school still? Serious, and not I'm not slamming on you. This is a very important discussion to have because in other regards, in other instances, especially in America, there are people who are deriving all their value from what others think of them, not whether they are objectively a good person or a productive person or not. More commonly, I have people who like, I'm not successful in life. How do I get more success? Generally around money and housing, and in your case, girls. My question is, who told you those were the values by which to be judged? And if you go back to the entomology, is that the word? You go back through the history or the pathology. How did we get to this? It's like you were given this value system, this code, these ethics back in middle school. Be the popular rich kids, to which it benefits corporations, marketeers, political parties. I'm not going to go into it's not conspiratorial. I'm just saying that was given to you when you were young and stupid, and now you're old. And my question is, why are you continuing to be stupid? Why do you derive all your value from what women think of you? Why would you derive any value from what others think about you? Now, there's a line, right? You want, not that you want to be popular, but you want to follow etiquette and manners and being civil in society. You know, you don't want to be a dick, you don't want to commit crime. The golden rule, right? But aside from being self-support, I mean, number one, do you support yourself? You do. I'm not kidding. In America, if you are an actual self-supporting adult, you are 90%, you are better than 90% of the population. Everybody else is a parasite, needs some kind of hands up, leg up, assistance, that kind of thing. A good person, I would say, is almost wholly defined by, do you take money from other people? You don't? You're a good person, in my opinion. You don't steal, you don't collect government welfare, you don't get EBT and put the chicken tendies in your armpits. You're not looking to divorce someone and get an estate or some kind of settlement, right? There are objective things. Did you hurt anyone? You didn't? Okay. It's pretty good. You're a good person. Did you steal from anyone, whether it was actual theft in a classical criminal sense or take money from the taxpayer? You didn't? You're a good person. Do you support yourself and produce a thing that society wants, whatever that thing might be? Security guard work, dentistry, mechanics. You do? You're a good person. And then I would say, and you talk about, you're in very good physical health. So you're not an eyesore. You're not an affront. You're not an insult to people's vision as you go out in public. You're a good man, Charlie Brown. You are. You're a good guy. So I wouldn't judge. Oh my God. And okay, one, American women. Sorry, I'm just sorry. Your value systems are so fucked up right now. You're me personally, and among other people who got to get onto things like, work and production and ethics and all that, you're a very bad metric by whether or not a person is a good person or not. Like you should not be the judge of that, right? And you, sir, I wouldn't listen or worry about whether or not Western women enjoy, but American women in this particular case, but especially where you're, and they're also young. I mean, you're 25 plus, okay, youngish. I wouldn't listen to a 20-something on anything. Oh no, the hip zillennial kids don't approve? Oh nosies. You're right, kids. I don't have purple hair, and I don't live at home, and I am not addicted to Adderall. I don't wear my made-up gender I just created out of my ass on my sleeve, and I don't take money from the taxpayer or the parent. You're right. I'm not cool or hip. Oh nosies. But the hell if I'd care about what an average American, let alone a 27-year-old in a Marxist leftist shithole thought about me. This is a you problem. Now, you genetically programmed may want a woman more than anything in the world, which is genetically you are programmed to be. but I would make damn sure I knew that was hormones and biology and not ethics or actions or agency and who I've become as a human being. I would you're just horny, dude. That's it. You want to stick a thing into that hole over there. That's it. That's not ethics. That's not morality. That's biology, man. And you really need to stop confusing the two. Just because girls reject you doesn't mean you're shit. Okay? That's just the programming. Um Self-esteem and where yeah, so one, you're a pussy, stop being a pussy. "Yeah, the girls don't like me, blah, blah." I don't have time for that shit. I really don't have time to I don't. I don't. I don't like weak people. Like, I feel bad about myself. Well, fuck you. Go feel bad about yourself. I'm sick of tired. So fucking tired of that shit. I mean, have you ever? I'll get off this specific topic in a second. But have you ever stopped? And I had, and again, I'm being hard on you, but I was a little younger than you when I was like, wait a fucking second. I think I was even in my mid 20s. I fucking paid my way through college, worked full time, went to high, own a piece of property. It's rental property. I've never taken a bail. Da 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 da, ba da 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 da. Dance instructor. Da da da. Fuck you, people. I'm great. I'm fucking exceptional. I am on this side of the bell curve by at least 2 standard deviations, and not just IQ. I'm talking other things. I'm not on drugs. It didn't. There's all the bad things I didn't do, but look at all this productive shit I did. And I think what you need to do is you need to take very clear and unbiased, I meaning unbiased against yourself, inventory of what you are and who you've become. And it sounds like you're incredibly, well, maybe not fucking Elon Musk or anything like that, but it sounds like you are a significantly above average man. Now, I'm not talking looks or height because you are 5'9". It's over, but ignore that. Did you put in a lot of effort? Do you go to the gym? You do. Are you a successful career like man? I don't necessarily mean financially. You are? Did you take a handout? Does it sound like you did? Well, then fuck everyone else. You're a good man, Charlie Brown. And I don't know how you've gotten through here. Maybe you're relatively new to the red pill. The internet, not even just the red pill, but the internet now has chronicled and documented women's general disinterest in men. Not to mention the more younger generationally speaking, although it could be sort of any young generation. But the childlike behavior, have you watched TikTok? I know that it's not it's not 100% correlated with the real world, but what do you care about a group of people generally who flake on dates? He better this, he better that. Divorce 75% of the time. Again, I would not give one iota of a fuck what a group of people would think about me so young and sophomoric and lacking in real world experience and with, I guess, hubris and arrogance, maybe even mental illness at a certain level. So this is a you problem. I got self-esteem. Like really, who has really? It sounds like high school. You got self-esteem and worth each. Dude, you are a mid-30 something man. Knock it the fuck off. We don't have time for that shit. Near to you. Seems like I'm invisible to 99.9% of the women. Yes, you are in a hot leftist market. Like the girls are hot. Okay. You're in a leftist market, leftist environment, and you're 5'9". You are invisible to 99.9% of the women. Yes, you are. At least the ones you're interested in. This is why I wrote the book of numbers, analyzing the ROI in the pursuit of women. One of the founding tenets of that book is measuring how little interest women have in your average man. And if you have not read it, I am strongly recommending you read that. And I'm also going to recommend recommend strongly you read Myron Gaines' book because I helped them edit it. Why Women Deserve Less. And even there, we added more data from what I found in my original book, adding the research to Myron's book. And you got to view it like a documentary, like you're studying, like it's science. Not but my feelings and my peen wants to get no. Get your peen out of here. Your peen, this is just your brain, big brain, not little brain, big brain. Read through it. Be like, oh shit. Uh, even though I've got every other aspect of my life in amazing shape and have good success with women in my 20s, that was interesting. This is leading me to feel lonely. I'm probably coming across as desperate and needing, which is only hurting my chances with women. You're goddamn right it is. So look, women, everybody wants to be free. And if you get all clingy, how do I get the girls off? They feel and they know, because ultimately that's what it is that you are viewing them as an object. Like, this is the last piece of the puzzle I need. I need you to behave. Why don't you like me? Gee, I can't imagine why. And they smell that desperation stench. That's a bigger turnoff than your height. Because 5'9", it's average. They're reluctant. That stench, oh, they will fucking screaming away from you. There's nothing that drives them up more than a hardworking, responsible, reliable guy who is desperate. You need to, Roll just tweeted out some teacher slept with her 14-year-old student, and here she is standing next to Poindexter, her husband, and the next picture is her next to that 14-year-old kid. And of course, he's like tall and he's wearing the douche baggy. He's just a fucking douche canoe. Listen to me. Listen to me. This is obviously it's not for all women. Generally, a criminal is more attractive than you. Generally. That's not your fault. I'm not saying you're oh, should I become a criminal? No, you're a superior man to a criminal. You're a contributing, productive member of society. Generally speaking, especially that demographic, age, political mindset, they'll probably take a drug dealer over you because the drug dealer's fun. He's more adventuresome. And he got more important shit to worry about than women. So I'm struggling, and it's hard not to develop a profound hatred for women. This is bad. This is bad. And the main thing I want to talk about here, at this point, after the hell I've gone through here, but I'm not one to blame, so I'm reaching out for your help. Ba, 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 ba. So then I had some questions. I said, 1, how tall are you? 2, because of your name, I said, are you East Indian, Pakistani, Bangladeshi, that kind of subcontinent Asia? 3, where and how did you have success with women in your 20s? Was it where you currently are or somewhere else? And you said to me, 5'9". Oh, how dare you, sir? How dare you be 5'9"? You are not from that subcontinent area, but you are of a different ethnicity, which I won't mention because it's very unique. But and I don't know. I don't know. I could say this. You're from the Middle East. I don't know how women respond to that. I'm not too sure. But I'm gonna guess it's probably having a slight negative effect, ever so slight, but not as bad as actually being East Indian. That's like the death knell, to which our East Indian brothers and friends, we are very sorry, but that's just the way it is. But lying about ain't gonna help any of them. But it's nowhere near as bad. You're 5'9". That's probably your biggest physical drawback, not necessarily your ethnicity and the way you look. Plus you are working out. So I gotta imagine you still have the classic chiseled jawline features and all that. You do work out, 12% body fat. Yeah, you're jacked. You're good. And here, once again, let's take inventory. And here you kind of do. For whatever it's worth, I take crazy good care of my health and fitness. 170 pounds, 12% body fat. I make really good money, well traveled, well educated, own my own house, have amazing hobbies. I've been pursuing for years. I don't want to say, because it's interesting what you do. You play a musical instrument, you know how to dance, you compete in a very unique field. What more? Seriously, forget what the ditzy 26-year-old idiot and leftist Marxist shithole thinks of you. What more could you possibly be? What more? You're an exceptional man based on objective standards, ethical, principled standards. But you're not fun. And that's more reflective of them and their youth and their ignorance and stupidity than it is you. All right. So there's nothing more for you. Let's save you some time. It's not like if you picked up, oh, what hobby do I got to go to get the go? Oh, maybe if I picked up pole vaulting, dude, you could pick up 20 more hobbies. That's not it. You're in a bad situation, environment. You're in a bad environment. You're going after girls who are there at their peak high value. You are approaching them wrong where you think, like, I need this one thing to fit the fucking, why won't the thing obey? They're picking up on that shit. And you are irrationally letting basically a bunch of petulant adult children judge you. The judgment of which that older eyes would throw immediately out the window, I don't give a shit about that, is only given veracity because you're horny, you want to fuck them. All right? So you need to separate the two. Uh so the reason, let's go review the reasons why you're not having success with women. Then we're going to address this hatred for women because we got to stop that. And it's not because, oh my God, we want to protect the woman folk. There is that, but it's also for your own mental sake. So you don't spend more energy and anger on it. You are short. You don't control that. That's the number one reason you're having issues with women. Oh, where did you okay? Two, the confusing curveball was, well, where did you have success with women? And you were in the Midwest in a kind of a dumpy state. All right. And you were in grad school. Okay, so that environment is a little different. Yes, you would have success there. You're in an academic environment. I'm presuming you picked up women in a similar field as yours. You were good looking. Girls are a little more fun in college. So, yes, your environment. So, the second reason is your environment has changed. You've gone from a pretty good environment. One probably could even considered you a situational alpha. And then you went to literally the worst place on earth where literally the most entitled women in the world are, and you're at the age you're trying to date women in their prime. You you went from the very minor leagues to the very major leagues, and you're just getting the shit kicked out of you. That's it. Again, not necessarily your fault. You're think of the men you're competing against in this area, like top tier men. Yeah, Mr. 5'9", get the fuck out of here, right? But that's not you. It's not your fault. So, as I've given advice to all men, especially of different not American backgrounds. Now, you might be an American citizen, I don't know, but like my Vietnamese buddy, he's American, but he's Vietnamese ethnically. You're if you want to find a girl, if you want to get married, go back to your home culture. You got home field advantage there. You got connections. And almost always, almost always, the women are more traditional there. Certainly, there is nowhere in the globe, I bet you people are going to try and guess this. There is nowhere in the globe where there are women who are less traditional than where you are now. Okay? It doesn't get any worse. It doesn't. There's various variation type of worse, but it doesn't get worse than where you are now. So I would be going back to home field advantage, whether that's the Midwest or your ethnically home country where your parents came from, where that's where I would go if you wanted to uh, have success with women. Related, I would absolutely give up on the girls in the area you are. Again, if you see a cute girl, I'm not saying don't ask a girl out, but shit, man, I would just stop it. You literally are in this town is the adult middle school of the world, and you're judging yourself by what these petulant adult children think. I would not It'd be just like middle school. I'd be trying to get the fuck out of there as quickly as possible. Or if I have to stay there for career reasons, stay there, get your studying done, get the fuck out. I would do as I wouldn't even be I would not be bothering dating where you are. Again, cute girl at the whatever, the gas station, maybe, but holy shit, I would not waste my time. And the fuck if I would give a shit what these people in that area thought. you are in adult middle school of the world. Uh, so that's another problem. I think those are just the two main ones. Now, because you care what adult middle schoolers think about you, you are starting to develop what you consider to be a profound hatred of women. Let's discuss this now. And this goes for everyone. You are programmed by the Lord or nature or whoever the fuck you want to believe in. Men are programmed to have a huge sex drive. So we chase after the girls. We build all this amazing shit to impress the girls, to protect the women, protect our children, all that other stuff. And thus civilization was born. However, and I strongly recommend you either read A World Without Men or Why Women Deserve Less, women are not programmed that way. They have nowhere near the reciprocal interest in men and certainly not sex. All right. Although men are primarily interested in sex, so it would be sex. I'm sure there's other factors. I'm sure we men have some other qualities we bring. I don't know what it is, but I kind of like the sex part of it. That's my interest in women. Women are not. Now, Howl at the Moon get pissed off. There's good reason for it because, and I've written this many times before, if we had equivalent sexual interest, we'd have sex all the time. We'd outbreed the food supply. We'd all die. All right. If we had equivalent sexual interest as women, we just look at each other and hold hands and die in one generation because there wouldn't be any sex. I don't know, have candles and talk about our feelings and watch a fucking Taylor Swift album. So God or nature, whatever, had the wisdom to say, we're going to make a workhorse class and we're going to give them incredible interest in a bearing class, right? But this is not going to have the same interest in that. And therefore, an exchange will happen. And this is what all economics is founded on. And that is resources for sex or civilization for sex. Sorry, that's what it is. Don't like it, go fuck off and read some Paul Krugman. He'll tell you more about how we could print off more money without inflation as he jerks his little dick off. Oh my God, he's so fun. Yeah, go read him. In the meantime, all of economics, yes, sorry to say it, it's prostitution. I mean, we color it up a little bit and fancy it up. Oh, but we put a wedding reception, a little ceremony in between, and there's a ring. See, it's all still resources for sex, still civilization for sex. And it's good. I mean, otherwise we wouldn't have the human race. We wouldn't have culture or civilization. We wouldn't have plumbing. Now, advance to today. Industrial revolution, air conditioning, technology, civilization, and it's gotten to the point that women can work white-collar jobs, blue-collar ones, but predominantly white-collar ones, and they don't need men. Beforehand, they did. Men had to go toil in the field, protect them from beasts and animals and tribes and all. Then we bring home the bacon. We'll take care of the house. Well, we've outsourced a tremendous percentage of the human labor that goes to take to support a family, and now women can actually go and work, which is fine. I'm all for it in various white collar professions. And if they got the strength for it, they could Rosie the Riveter up and do some blue collar professions. However, what did I say before? How did nature or God program it? Women don't like men that much. It's not an opinion. It's not an opinion. They're just not that interested. They don't hate men. They're just not that interested. And this is the problem that you definitely have. And I think all the other men have. And that is you're programmed this way to, I need to get women at all costs. I mean, wars have been started 9 out of 10 times. You look at someone going to jail is over a woman. I mean, that's what, bucks, you could see it in nature. Bucks would gouge each other and fight each other to the death, all the different hell, gorillas will kill rival gorilla. You see it in nature, all right? We're a little more civilized. But there's still a tremendous amount of genetic, biology, hormonal push to go and get the girls. And then when you're rejected, there is a, for me to be indifferent and very Schopenhauerian or stoic, I guess would be a better description, a stoic philosophy. Oh, okay, I guess you didn't. I'll give you an example. I've told this story before. Top of my game, good looking, went to work at the bank, had my suit on, went and taught 3 hours of dance classes. Then I went to a jazz club where there's a jazz band playing, and there's a dance floor. And I went in there and asked one girl to dance. She said no. Asked another girl to dance. She said no. And I kept getting rejected. And after a while, I'm like, this is bullshit. Know thyself. I'm like, so I asked every single girl to dance. 31 women all shot me down to dance. Okay. Now that's and I'm like, I'm not wrong. I'm not. I took inventory, got a job, an own property, did side gig, dance. I mean, what more do you want? I mean, 5'9". Okay, admittedly, that's bad. I'm sorry. I'm ashamed. I screwed up there. But more so to the point, every man's got to get to that point to go and become the best version of themselves, so that when you get shot down, you're not angry. You remove the emotion. Okay. You just acknowledge and say, yeah, they're just not that interested. And one, I can't deliver any more than this. This is as good as it gets. Right. And two, in the grand scheme of things, if you watch girls as they get older, they go marry the douche canoe or get knocked up by Pookie and Ray Ray or Thaddeus and Tyrone, whoever. And the fun drug, sit down, everybody. Did you know the fun drug dealing guy with the ankle bracelet who does drugs and has a fancy car that he leased at 17% and gets in fights? Did you know over the long haul, that guy can't provide for a family? Isn't exactly the most stable guy? And then they have regret. Now, they don't have regret having sex with the guy. Is the irony, another little joke the world or God plays on you. They don't regret the sex with the guy, but the lifestyle that the guy, frankly, fails to provide ain't around. He's just gone. He just as TFM says with Halsey, Jewish Batman's out of there. He's gone like Batman, like the bats. You have to have the stoicism to know that that's where that went. I'm a good guy. I mean, really? And in the ideal world, you guys become slightly a bad guy, like a Christian Grey, where you have all this shit down, right? But then there's a bad or a dark angle to you, which we could argue for yet another day is something to aim for, right? Like getting into like martial arts would probably be a good thing for you. But setting that aside, you need to know I'm a great guy. I actually am a catch. And not to sound arrogant or cocky because you've put in the work, I actually am the fucking table. And you're going to turn me down? That's where it may sound incredibly arrogant and cocky, where, it's that meme, the one person saying, yes, all of you were wrong. It was the same thing there. Look, ladies, I don't know what more I could have given you, aside from being taller, which I couldn't do. I got shot down by 31 women. Guarantee you. Today, 20 years later, a lot of them, they would have been way better off, in theory, if they said yes, we dated, got married, or stuck together, or whatever like that. But you cannot take that personally. You need to be confident in yourself. Like, well, this is the best I could do. And then the other thing you need to know, this is very critical, and this is where you need to get rid of the hate. These girls don't control it. Just as you are programmed to be attracted to these women, and in some ways, not irrational, it's all biology. I mean, it makes complete biological sense that you feel sad when you get rejected. Just as you are hardwired to chase after duck girls, they're hardwired to no, block, defend. Oh, wait, oh, God, for survival reasons. Right? And it's not that they don't like you. Oh, hang on, of course. Hang on. Okay, we're back. It always happens at this time. I'm sure something happens with the internet. Cattle runs over the wire. I don't know what they're doing out there. But getting back to my point, you have to realize these girls don't control it. Women like the bad boy. Women like dangerous men. Women like the rough and tumble guy who's completely irresponsible. We can get pissed off. You can get pissed off all you want. One, it's just going to burn you out. Two, it's going to put you in a foul mood. Three, that anger and hatred is misplaced. Don't get angry at them. Get angry at nature. Right? Which I don't know how you get angry at nature, but you just got to accept it. The men and women are separate human beings. They're separate entities. And what you're failing to do here, and a lot of men do because they're driven by their sex and their hormones and all that, is you think you have a right to women because your hormones are so strong and they blind you to the fact that's a separate entity and human being. And as harmful, or maybe not harmful, as hurtful and insulting it might be that girls are rejecting you, at the same time, that is a separate human being. They have every right to say no to you. And they're not lying. They're just not that interested in you. And you need to forget men and women. As a fellow human being, you must realize that person just for whatever reason, you could argue it's irrational or stupid, but at the end of the day, they don't want to hang out with you. They don't want to have anything to do with you. And once you view it from that perspective, a lot of the anger and frustration goes away. It's the equivalent to getting pissed off at someone because they don't like chocolate ice cream and they like strawberry instead. You're like, but why don't you like chocolate ice? It doesn't matter why they don't like chocolate ice cream. You don't control them. Like, I don't beat the crap out of my nieces if they don't eat the ice cream that I like. It's recognizing that they are sovereign, separate entities and human beings who generally are hardwired not to be interested all that much in the other human beings that are unfortunately hardwired to like them very much. That's why God's a dick. He's a prick. He's a sick motherfucker. Anyway, women don't owe you anything. An individual doesn't owe you anything. And if you get pissed off that a separate, sovereign, sentient human being is not doing what you want them to do, you are the one with the problem and you have control issues. And that helps out in any place. I would strongly recommend you read the Stoics. The Book of Numbers link below and Why Women Deserve Left. Those are numbers to make you realize they do not like you that much. Stoicism, however you read it, will make you realize that things are out of your control and there's no hoodwinking or convincing them. And therefore, you let go of the anger. And I'd imagine invest a significant amount of your time doing something more productive with your life. But I want all of you guys to realize that these women, I don't care how you're programmed, I don't care how many conversations and how long the red pill goes on and the hours and the days and the years of conversation. At the end of the day, women are just not that interested. And you have to honor and respect that. Because what do you want to do? Like, and then it gets into even a more practical philosophy. Do you know what a pain in the ass it is dating a girl who really doesn't want to date you? And you're constantly pulling teeth. It's happened. I mean, that's most marriages today. They settle. They really don't like the guy that much. I've dated girls who really didn't want to go out with me. I think they're just bored or so. I don't know why they say. Or do you want the gal like, I like you, let's go? It's a night and day difference. And also from an ethical consideration, I don't want someone to go out with me because they feel like they're obligated or that I barely convinced them with amazing acts. And I want the girl like, let's go. I want to ride that dick and it's yours. Let's go. I really enjoy hanging out with you. I want someone to be there voluntarily because it's way more fun. Way more fun, way more joy, way more happiness. And in a certain sense, these girls are doing you a huge favor just telling you no. And so, one, they don't control it. Two, it's not your right. Three, be a stoic and realize what a pain in the ass it would be otherwise trying to cajole them or hoodwink or negotiate or pull teeth. And once you realize, especially when you realize they don't control it, you're like, oh, yeah, separate human being. Why would I get angry? Like, I don't get angry the NBA don't draft me, right? Like, no, wouldn't work. I have no interest. And I understand, but I don't have a genetic biological programming to be like, oh my God, the NBA. If you guys could just get past that, set aside your hormones for a second and look at it and realize, nope, they're separate human beings that don't want to have any, generally don't want to have anything to do with you. You let go of the anger and the rage. And then you more intelligently approach women where it's like, okay, I'm going to wait for a girl. I mean, they just don't come up to you. But you much more intelligently approach women where you hang out and then you pay attention, like, okay, which girl, like if a girl makes you food and brings it to you, okay, that's a sign. A girl smiling, giggling when you ask her to dance and you're out on the dance floor, okay, that's a sign. When you ask a girl out, she shows up, that's a sign. But for the remaining 9 out of 10 that will not text you back to that, there you go. That's also a sign. And then if for those of you men, and I understand I'm being very stoic, the functional use of the word, very unemotional. I understand that does not address the hormones and the programming and all that. But if you still want something from that hormones and the programming and something to address that, but I feel, let's just say you want to be a chick and discuss how you feel instead of how it is. Just go through that. All right, fine. The girl rejects you and you're hurt at some level. And I would not dismiss that because, yeah, you get rejected. Yeah, it hurts a little bit. Right. But if you're looking for some kind of revenge or if you're looking for some kind of balance, I guess would be a better way to describe it, you don't owe them anything either. And this is happening. Okay. Girls saying, we don't owe you anything. You're right. You don't owe us anything. Men are also now saying, okay, we're taking civilization and production off the table. And that's basically what's happening. That's what my other book, what the hell was the name of it? A World Without Men, an analysis of an all-female economy. There's balance happening whether you realize it or not. And whereas women are like, no, we're not doing the sex thing because frankly, we don't want to. And we're saying, okay, we respect that. Men are like, well, the fuck if we're going to work or protect you in a subway or defend you from assailants, especially if you're going to vote to let a bunch of illegal immigrants in. All right, fine. The contract is over. The social contract we used to have, men and women would help each other out. And that whole civilization for sex, economics for sex. The accord is broken. We no longer have an agreement. And you see that. Men aren't asking out women as much. Men are definitely not coming to rescue my lady from the bandits or the criminals or anything like that. Men are not buying homes. They're not getting out of the house. They'll work. They'll save their money, but they're not getting married because of the high levels of divorce. Men, just as women have divested their interest in men, or they've always just as the information and industrial revolutions have liberated women from men, and now women can remove sex, love, romance, intimacy from the table from men. Men now also can remove their previous social obligations, which was production, support, role of provisioning, protection, and progeny, or whatever it was. You see it. Labor force participation rates of men is going down. Men don't go to the gym no more. They've turned into the Democrat soy boy pussies that the women clamored they wanted. Okay, here's your lute playing music therapy major who votes the way you want. I don't even know if he has a penis. I think just some urine comes out of this thing every once in a while. There you go. Here's your Democrat boyfriend. He's totes my goats down with the cause. They're not defending. I mean, I'm like, they're not the days. Do you remember? Well, maybe you are too young to remember this. I remember the day. It was so common. But now you look back and say, man, is that an anachronism? That's archaic. That's old. No one does that anymore. I remember you would work hard to get a car. It was a piece of shit car, but you had a car. And then with your meager money you made at $7.25 an hour, you'd save up enough money to take out Susie Q to a movie and some shitty ass dinner. That's all, because that's all you could afford. But you would pick her up. You take your shitty ass Ford Escort. That's how old I am. And you go pick up Susie Q at her house or dorm or wherever the hell it was that she lived. And then you would take her with your meager earnings to a sit down place and then take her to a movie. Ladies, when's the last time that's happened to you, if ever? And now you can see guys like, yeah, we're going to do coffee dates. We'll date on the internet. Come on over, Netflix and chill. Men have, and you see it, men are definitely pulling back. Men are definitely like, nah, I ain't good. Nah. And so if you're looking for that retributive justice because your hormonally driven emotions were hurt, your hormonally driven feelings were hurt, there you go. I think this is why the red pill, eh, especially in the past maybe 5 years, maybe even going so far back as 10. I mean, Rollo talks about it. They want red meat. Well, it's certainly why Fresh and Fit, who are the originals, who did the let's get a bunch of these gals up here to show how delusional they were. Who's the guy passed away? Kevin Samuels. That's why he was so successful. Everybody loved seeing these women, quote, get their comeuppance, having their delusional expectations of men, and then just getting them crushed because it felt good. But at the end of the day, you're right. Kevin Samuels is right. Fresh and Fit is right. They are lampooning these girls. These girls have no clue. The Whatever podcast is the same thing. Yet still, at the end of the day, those girls aren't convinced. They still don't want to go out with you. They're still going to, they are not going to say, they want that guy. And I keep telling you this, it's hardwired. And so you should not get angry at women. You should accept it. If for one reason, so you almost feel bad that you should respect the decision. If you don't respect their decision, you become a tyrant, right? I have somebody, let's say I don't have a kid, right? My nephews and nieces would be a perfect case. These are not my children. I love them and all that, but they're not my children. So if my nieces and nephews were to go major in dumb shit, I might say something like, hey, you shouldn't major in dumb shit. But at the end of the day, if they rebuke my advice, they're not my children. They're not me. They're separate human beings. And after I've said my piece to help out and say, no, I've done it, and I've gone through this before with other younger people, and they're just not going to listen. And at the end of the day, I'm the one that's wrong if I keep hounding or pressing an issue, no matter how much it might be in their best interest for them. I mean, in a lot of times it is. You would make a great husband. You make an outstanding husband, a reliable, entertaining, interesting, providing husband. They don't want the Toyota Corolla. They want the shit piss Lamborghini that breaks down all the time and has $500 oil changes that they're not going to get more than, a year's worth of driving out of. That's just what it is. And so you need to realize that you cannot become a tyrant. They're separate human beings. They don't owe you anything. But at the same time, you don't owe women. I mean, we already pay a lot in taxes for various social programs that disproportionately go to help out women. So there's that. But you don't owe them anything. I do not help women on the side of, sorry, ladies, I don't. Because I'm just assuming you vote Democrat and take my fucking money away. Well, go. You want the government to be community and take it. Fine. Well, not to mention, oh, scary, creepy guy might pull more. No, what are you going to want? You're going to want, oh my God, you mean I pull over? I fix your tire for you? Maybe that might be a signal I'm a reliable guy. Maybe I'd want to date. Horror. No, and I've been around longer than you. You're right. You don't need no man. We're not We're not showing the war. Here we go again. Here we go again. All right. Yeah, men aren't. We're not going to protect you anymore. We're not going to, especially when you vote to throw us in jail, which is another issue. Guy, they're just pulling back, and you see it. And so, if you need some kind of justice or balance, or like, haha, they got theirs, go just watch. It's all over. I talked to my buddy who's older than me, and he's still torn up about it. Like, he's like, I can't believe we were lied to so much. I'm like, yeah, but just watch. I mean, especially our generation, most of the gals my age are hitting menopause. And what am I doing? Where am I? Oh my God. It's like, middle school's over. They don't know it yet. And they're going to still find love and posting emotional sayings on the internet. It's a great show you get to watch. And I'd be lying and say, yeah, I get a little bit of like, oh, isn't that nice? It's nice to see an ex gain some weight and get fat. I'm only human. I mean, I don't dance the Irish jig on top of it, but I just got like, oh, look at that. Look what happened to her. Man, and let me ask you, is you happy? Is this trying to control other people and get them to like you? Is this making you happy? Fuck that shit, man. Go do your thing. Keep kicking it. Dude, you got a great go. If there's another hobby you want to pick up, go do it. All right. You see a cute girl, you want to get coffee sometime? No. But down the road, I'd spend your time making your money where you need to. Save up some money and then get out of there. Go find yourself a traditional wife. If that's what you want, but you're going to have to leave that environment. And you're probably going to have to leave the United States. So there you go. Link below, a couple resources, then we'll get to the super chat. The Book of Numbers, analyzing the ROI in the pursuit of women. Men, if you want to let go of your hatred of women, okay, great place to go. Why women deserve less. I know the title sounds antagonistic towards women. No. Go through it, read it. You're like, oh, they just don't like chocolate ice cream. All right, fine. But we're going to let them like strawberry. That's cool. You don't like reliable guys. We get it. Yeah, you get it. Go date the thugs and the fun guys with boats and alcoholism. And they're just so fun. And when they're 50, they'll be like, is my life a mess? Why did my husband get arrested? That was great watching the housing bubble burst. All these fucking poser entrepreneur bros. Oh, God, watching their hot trophy wives. What do you mean the house is repossessed? What do you mean we got to leave? Oh, those are good times. So just, yeah, man, life is too short to, like, yeah, girls, you go date the criminals. Go date the drug dealers. Go date the immigrants you brought in. Go have fun with that. What do you mean, typhus? So that world, why women deserve less. And then what the hell is the other one? Oh, the menu, life without the opposite sex. For now, you're in a market, you're in an environment where the opposite sex is generally, I'm just going to say, not going to be around all that much. I know they're around, but you're not going to have a relationship. Figure out what to do in life without the opposite sex. Everyone's going to be single, at least a significant part of their lives. It's a great book for everyone to have. But then when you move out and go, and maybe you might find yourself a nice traditional wife, have some kids, cool. You're off to the races then in a whole new life. But in the meantime, yeah, especially in the West, they just don't like you guys that much. All right. James Rankin, 10 generous dollars. What generic advice would you give men who've been screwed over, whether by their own fault or outside influences? So they're black-pilled and don't give a fuck about anything, especially in their 40s. Why would those men need advice? Here's my question, James. Men who've been screwed over, whether by their own fault or outside influences, are black-pilled and don't give a fuck about anything. I think you learned your lesson. I think you're correct. What do you want me? What would the advice be to get you back to being naive and a dupe and a sucker? You got screwed over either by yourself or by society, very likely both on multiple things. That's just you realizing how much the world fucking sucks and you should be a misanthrope, especially in the West. I'll go into it in detail later one of these days. America's ethic is fuck over thy neighbor. That's really what American ethics are now. I don't think there's anything wrong with you. You just learned what the real world was. And I would not get back to being a naive sucker who's going to be taken advantage of again and lose money and get hurt. Like, how many times do you need to get divorced to know that it's a bad deal? I can't help you decide I'm going to get married again. Like, are you fucking nuts? You should be black-pilled. You should be a pessimist. You should be Arthur Schopenhauer because that's how bad humans are. And I'm not saying you the real challenge for dour, black pill, blah, 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 is to find a reason to live and find joy and happiness or at least purpose and meaning in life. After coming to the realization that most humans suck. So I would say you are regressing if you try to go back. Well, how do I get optimistic about humanity again? Like you don't and you shouldn't. Absolutely not. But here's something, James. Society, and we talk about society is this monolithic thing. Is not society sentient? Is it not a bunch of individual people who make decisions? Okay, when society starts doing good things for you, then maybe you can invest in society again. In the meantime, all I've seen society say is that I'm the bad guy. I owe them more. We're going to lie to you. We're going to take your money. We're going to cheat and scoundrel you. Fuck society. So I think you are street smart, James. That's what you've become. The Plains Warrior, $5. I'm thinking about switching to the other green site that rhymes with mumble. Are you there too? Yeah, I am. But to be perfectly honest, I just haven't had time to go over there. I got an account. Was it MGTOW TV? Amir, he also gave me an account there, and it just backs up my YouTube channel. So if I ever have to take down a video, there's a backup over there. If you have the time, go ahead and do it. I just between my to-do list, which maybe now I got the time to do it. I don't have time. Oh, what about this platform? Oh, hey, are you on Locals? It is like, no, I don't want another username and password. But if you got the free time to do it, yeah, absolutely. The day is coming. The day is coming. I will, be demonetized. Good. Nothing lasts forever. Maybe Rumble becomes more popular than YouTube. So the day is going to come that I will have to switch, but that day is not now. And the amount of free time I have is very little. That like right now I'm going to go on a boat later, which is nice, but I got to go and get my shingles shot. I got to go to the gym. I got to go to the insurance place. I got to drop off recycling. So it's my truth. The king can't make this shit up. How many years till they vote us back into change and serfdoms? Well, we already are at about 40% tax rate. Took 1000 BC until 1600 AD to birth a solid republic, only to lose it. Right, because free shit. Tee-hee, free shit. Yay! The worst thing to happen to the communal intelligence of this society and any other society is to have life so easy that you never had to work for it, and then have the world's reserve currency so we can just print off more money and have artificially low interest rates. Remember the video of the girls like, I'm majoring in, I'm not joking, I think it was Latina storytelling. Yay! And they're listing off all their worthless degrees. Yeah, those they're all women. Those women are dumb enough to vote in enemies to destroy the country. Absolutely. Because free shit. They don't know any better. Nino, $2. Has he tried dating single moms with lots of debt? No. No. My truth. The king, $2 more equality. Yes, please. 19th straw. 11. Yeah, well, men are giving women equality. Like, no, you got to fix your own car. I'm not going to fix it. I don't know how to fix it. I majored in Latina storytelling. Hey, speaking of Latinas, Alville Decua, $5. I have a suggestion. Live, make money, look for a girl in the poor cities in his home country. Don't even waste your time trying to get laid in the West. Yes. Yes. He's doing all that except the lifting. Or I'm sorry, except going into the home country. Now the internet shit. Hang on. All right, that was a short one. Half dollar, $2. Celery has fiber and nutrition, but it tastes icky. Almost everything that's good for you tastes bad. Stark Industry, $2. Thanks, Cappy. Thank you, Tony Stark. Ken Rose, $2. He says hi. Ross the Skunk, $5. I filed on my ex, have almost 3 grown kids. Sure, I'd like a girlfriend, but kind of just don't care enough to look. Happy to play Bloodstained for the Switch. Right. And then you get older, your hormones go away. Like, you never not want to fuck a bunch of gals that are hot and attractive, but like, really honest, like, well, if you were single ever again, I'm like, oh my God, no. No. As I have said many times before, I just pay for it. I'm not going to a nightclub. I'm not giving up hiking to go sit and jibber jabber with some girl who I gotta try and dance and entertain and that's funny. Look at the monkey Cappy dancing, doing funny, entertaining things. Yay! Now touch pin. Now here's the money. Touch my pin. I'm going home. Getting a good night's rest. Not getting blue balls from you ever again. Nope. Go. Get out of here. Yeah. I mean, you get a little bit older and you go through it, you're like, "Oh, no. No way, man." I guess it's kind of funny watching a young guy get all worked up about girls. You're like, "Yeah, no." I mean, look, if you want to get laid, there's another way I guess I could tell him, just drive to the state where you can find the legal drive to the state where direct exchange for cash for sex is legal. Because everywhere, barter, it's legal, right? Here's your house, here's your ring, I'll pay out your student loan debts, I'll provide for everything. That's love. That's love. Here's cash. Oh, that's prostitution. You can even have it where I will pay you monthly sums after we get divorced. That wasn't prostitution. That was love. Oh God, what a fucking circus. Chris Surdak, $5. I think Gen Z women are sleuths now. Are they? I think I think they're just not that interested. I think they're kind of happy their men are leaving them alone too. Just wait for the collapse next year. They'll be giving it away for the cost of a sandwich if they refuse to make. No, we're not in that bad a shape. It'll be a slow, gradual decline. You do see some women. There's a lot of TikTok homeowner girl bosses who bought a home, completely underestimated the amount of maintenance and repair that's required in maintaining a home. They're just selling it. Their home, I mean. Is there behind closed doors some implicit agreement? Yes, I guarantee you. My car won't work. And then there's a guy like, gee, the only reason I work up all this money and pay 40% taxes is to get laid anyway. So at a saving is 40% of my income. Why don't I just do the fucking work for you? And then the thing, and I think Nuke was even telling me about this. Maybe he even had instances where he had to help a girl with her computer or something, which is fine. It's what you used to do and he came to the same conclusion. It's like, yeah, except there ain't no marriage now. It's just on a per contract. It's no different than employment. Used to have long-term W-2 employment with a pension. Now it's just 1099 contract work. Whatever you girls want. Whatever you girls want. But it won't get so bad that next year they're just going to be lining up like they are in Venezuela. Yosef Adams, $5. Your content has 100 times my life. Thanks. Can you make videos about the Stoics and can help your career as a man, personal life? I could, and I apologize for forgetting to mention this. I should link to it below. If you're very interested in Stoicism, the best book to read is not necessarily the Stoics or Marcus Aurelius, which they're great books, don't get me wrong. I would start with Turd Flinging Monkeys, The Way of Monkey book, because it's modern and set for today's time. That's going to be much more. It's like, if the Bible was written in Hebrew, which I think it was originally, that doesn't do a lot of us people no good who don't speak Hebrew. And then it's translated in King James. Okay, here it is, we think. The Way of Monkey book by Turd Flinging Monkey absolutely nails it. So I would recommend to the client and everyone out there who's angry with women, like if you got this anger or hatred towards women starting to form, or it has formed, listen to this video and then also go get The Way of Monkey book by Turd Flinging Monkey. It's available on Amazon. And then you'd be like, oh yeah. And you're not going to get the girl. I'm just to let you know, this doesn't help you get the girls. You're going to get the girls, whether whatever girls you're going to get, that's what you're going to get. And we could slightly increase your tactics and strategies. This is to let go of the anger and hatred and improve your life, because nobody's happy being angry, no matter what you're angry at. And because of programming, like obviously a lot of angst comes from the opposite sex. And I'm just saying, once you realize they aren't that interested in you anymore, and you can achieve stoicism, you can be a stoic and say, and you know what? That's perfectly all right. And now I'm going to go fishing. That's better than stupid women, dumb broads. Don't. What would you rather? The stoic who pays for it and then gets on with his life, or the angry gym bro? Hey, have you tried fishing instead? Oh, James Rankin, $10. I guess what I'm getting at is whether or not they don't give a care for anything, whether they live or die. They just going through the motions, putting one foot in front of the other, of waiting for that. That's what the menu is for, James. That's what the menu is for. Yeah, look, guys, we're at a very, very, very unique point in history where technology has evolved that women have been liberated from men. Beforehand, they were dependent upon us. They needed us, so we came to this negotiation. There were a lot of women who had sex with a lot of men they didn't like, but they just did so, okay? And here we are, technology, welfare state, whatever, however, women don't need men anymore. We're now at a new and different dynamic. I'm trying to get you to the point, I almost feel bad for them, like, wow, did women really not want to? You kind of were slaves in a certain regard. That kind of sucks. And you want to get to this point of volunteerism where, okay, do you want to hang out? All right, cool, let's go. But if they don't, well, what are you going to do about it? It's going to ruin your life if you get pissed off about it. And yes, for most of human history, or for all of human history, that's what gave us purpose and meaning, was the children and the family and the community that resulted as a result of sex and men and women getting together. Notice I've avoided the word love because that's another whole separate thing. But yeah, this has now been taken away. Men and women have removed each other from each other's lives, and everyone has a huge existential crisis. Well, what do you do now? I know women have a general distaste for men. I'm like, well, I don't know. It's like, this is the one movie playing in the movie theater. You're not going to see the movie? Well, I just don't like the movie. Okay, fine. You don't have to see the movie. I philosophically ask, why wouldn't you? There's nothing else going on. But you guys have to kind of react. You have to respond to it. Like, you have to accept it. Like, okay. And that's why I came up with the menu. Like, yeah, you're here's the motivation, James. Unless you're going to end it, you got at least 50 years to go do something. You got to fill your time with something. That's why I came up with the menu, because generally women are no longer interested in courtship and dating and traditional and romance and all that other stuff. I mean, with the right top 10% guy, literally top 10%, more like 5. We're not going to talk about that. But then they'll go back to the kitchen and pearls and making a sandwich and blowjobs in the garage. And for the right guy, the most ardent feminist will turn into the most doting traditional housewife. All right, but that's not going to happen for the vast majority of people. So you got to figure out what to do with your life. And it's almost a blessing that God or nature has given you the sentience and the day we live, the world we live in today. And there I'd start reading Schopenhauer. There I'd start reading where he takes a practical approach. I mean, the guy went for walks every day in the woods. He enjoyed peace and calm. Coach Greg Adams is very good for this too. The stoicism and the relaxing and the enjoyment of peace and serenity. So yeah, it's not, in some ways, yes, you're going through the motions, because if you don't have family and kids, that's fine. Yes, the genetically need, there's going to be no Clarys going forward. Thank God. All right. That doesn't mean I don't leave a legacy or I'm not here and I don't enjoy it. Like today, I'm going to go to the gym. I get to go to the gym. I'm not excited about recycling, but afterwards I get to go on a boat. Huh? Ain't that fun? Chris Cerdak, $5. Marriage is a prostitution. It is. Yes, it is. With tremendous potential legal liability and financial obligations afterwards. It's like an annuity you pay, you use the product, but then you pay afterwards, like monthly, sometimes for the rest of your life. Because you use the product. Like, no. I can't figure out why guys aren't getting married. Fuck that shit. Fuck you. All right, there you guys go. Links to everything down below. I'll see you guys later, Toodles.